Hey there, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jason Peterson, and as many of you know, beginning on the 6th of July, I'm excited to begin the next chapter of my mortgage career with New American Funding. I wanted to create this video not only to share this exciting announcement, but also to explain why I made this move and what it means for both current and future clients. Over the next several minutes, I'm going to walk through some of the things that stood out to me about New American Funding. Things that I believe create a better experience for buyers, homeowners, referral partners, and families looking for guidance throughout the mortgage process. More importantly, I want to share why I believe this next chapter allows me to continue delivering the level of service, support, and long-term relationships that have always been important to me. So, let's jump in. One of the things that immediately stood out to me about New American Funding is the combination of scale and personalized service. Today, New American Funding has more than 5,400 employees and over 285 offices nationwide, and continues growing. What that means for clients is simple. You get the strength, resources, and infrastructure of a large national lender while still receiving personalized support and guidance. Whether you are purchasing, refinancing, leveraging equity, or planning your next move, I believe having both national capability and local attention matters. And that's exactly what attracted me to this organization. Now, let's talk about another reason so many people continue choosing New American Funding. New American Funding funds approximately $1 billion in mortgages each month. Now, that's a big number. But what matters more is what that number represents. It represents thousands of individuals and families choosing New American Funding over countless other lending options available across the country. That kind of trust doesn't happen accidentally. It comes from delivering solutions, service, consistency, and building relationships over time. When clients have choices, and they absolutely do, I believe it says something meaningful when they continue coming back. And one of the reasons I believe that happens is because of how this company is structured. One of the most unique things about New American Funding is that it remains privately owned. Why does that matter? Because decisions can stay focused on clients rather on shareholder expectations. That flexibility allows the company to remain focused on delivering service, maintaining competitive solutions, and making decisions with long-term relationships in mind. For me personally, that aligns with how I've always wanted to approach business. Helping people first, educating, creating options, and building trust. Another thing that impressed me was the ability to serve borrowers anywhere in the country. New American Funding is licensed in all 50 states and Washington, D.C. That creates tremendous flexibility. People relocate, families move, investors expand, life changes. Having a lender with broad licensing and national reach creates opportunities to support clients in more places and more situations. Personally, I also expect to continue expanding my own licensing footprint over time so I can help more clients, referrals, and communities across the country. Now, let's talk about something that directly impacts the client experience. New American Funding has specialized in mortgages for more than 23 years as a direct lender. And there's an important distinction there. A direct lender focuses specifically on mortgage lending. That specialization creates experience, efficiency, and deeper expertise across products and processes. Mortgage guidelines evolve, programs change, markets move. Working with a company that lives and breathes mortgages every day helps create a stronger experience from application through closing. And for me, that focus and specialization was another major reason I chose New American Funding. Next, let's talk about one of my favorite advantages for home buyers: underwritten pre-approvals and how they can strengthen your offer. One of the biggest challenges buyers face today is competition. Sometimes homes move quickly, and buyers feel pressure to make decisions fast. That's why I'm excited about New American Funding's ability to offer eligible buyers underwritten pre-approvals targeted within approximately 48 business hours. Now, that's different from a simple pre-qualification. An underwritten pre-approval involves a more comprehensive review up front and can create additional confidence before you begin making offers. For buyers, that can mean stronger positioning. For sellers and agents, it can provide additional confidence that financing has already been reviewed more thoroughly. The goal is simple: help clients move forward confidently when the right opportunity appears. And once you're in the process, simplicity matters too. One thing borrowers often don't realize is that lenders don't always interpret guidelines the same way. Some institutions apply additional overlays and internal requirements beyond standard program guidelines. That can sometimes create more paperwork, additional conditions, and extra complexity. What I appreciate about New American Funding is the goal of focusing on guideline-based lending and reducing unnecessary obstacles wherever appropriate. That doesn't eliminate documentation requirements, but it does support creating a more straightforward and efficient experience. Mortgage financing shouldn't feel confusing. Our goal is to help make it understandable, and behind every smooth experience is a team working together. Another reason I'm excited about New American Funding is the in-house model. Processing, underwriting, funding, servicing, working together. Rather than relying on disconnected teams or external handoffs, the objective is greater coordination and communication throughout the process. For clients, that means clearer updates, stronger collaboration, and a smoother experience from application to closing, and even afterward. Home financing involves many moving parts. The more connected the team is, the better experience clients can have. And speaking of after closing, for many homeowners, one surprise after closing is discovering their mortgage servicing changes shortly afterward. One thing that stood out to me is that New American Funding services the majority of loans it originates, subject to program exceptions. Why does that matter? Because relationships don't need to end at closing. Clients may continue working within the same broader organization throughout homeownership. That continuity creates opportunities for long-term support, future planning, and staying connected as life changes. Buying a home isn't the finish line. For many people, it's the beginning. And when questions come up, accessibility matters. Home financing is one of the biggest financial decisions most people will ever make. And when questions arise, you want responsive support. New American Funding proudly supports clients with US-based customer service and loan servicing operations. For clients, that means easier communication, stronger accessibility, and support aligned to US time zones. Mortgage lending isn't only about closing loans. It's about helping people and creating an experience where clients feel informed, supported, and confident throughout the journey. Next, let's talk about recognition, reputation, and why service still matters long after closing. Getting to closing matters, but what happens after closing matters too. One of the things that stood out to me about New American Funding is recognition for customer satisfaction, not simply originating loans. New American Funding was recognized by J.D. Power in 2022 for customer satisfaction with mortgage servicing. Now, awards are never the whole story. But recognition like that reflects an ongoing focus on communication, responsiveness, and supporting homeowners throughout the life of the loan. Because great service shouldn't stop once documents are signed. And that leads directly into something I believe strongly in. Buying a home is often not a one-time event. Life changes, families grow, people relocate, goals evolve. You might refinance later, access equity, build, purchase another property. That's why one of the philosophies that resonates most with me is the idea of being your lender for life. Not simply helping complete a transaction, but becoming a long-term resource for your home financing decisions. I plan to continue checking in with clients over time because homeownership is a journey, not a single event. And when choosing who to trust, reputation matters. There are thousands of mortgage companies across the country. Standing out takes more than scale. It takes consistency, service, trust, and long-term relationships. New American Funding is proud to be recognized among the top 20 mortgage lenders nationally by transaction volume. But what I appreciate most is that despite that size, the company still aims to maintain a personalized experience. To me, that balance matters. Big enough to deliver, personal enough to care. Now, let's talk about something clients ask me about all the time: pricing. Rates matter, costs matter, but value matters too. One thing I appreciate about New American Funding is the ability to remain competitive and often review opportunities to match or beat competing loan estimates where possible. That doesn't mean choosing based solely on price. Mortgage decisions should consider service, execution, communication, timing, and overall value. But it does mean clients deserve transparency and opportunities to compare. If you've received a loan estimate elsewhere, sometimes it's worth getting a second look. And that commitment to clients has helped build something even more valuable: trust. Trust takes time. It's built one relationship at a time, one transaction at a time, one conversation at a time. New American Funding has maintained an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau since 2003. That represents more than 2 decades of building reputation and focusing on doing right by clients. Mortgage lending is about numbers, but ultimately it's about people. Helping people make informed decisions, helping people achieve goals, and showing up consistently over time. Next, let's talk about customer reviews, flexibility after closing, and some innovative mortgage options that many borrowers may not even realize exist. One of the strongest indicators of any company isn't what the company says about itself, it's what clients say. New American Funding has received more than 400,000 reviews while maintaining a strong overall rating across major review platforms. That's an incredible amount of feedback from real people who took time to share their experience. No company is defined by one review, but when hundreds of thousands of people speak, that tells a meaningful story. For me, it reinforces the importance of communication, responsiveness, and delivering an experience clients feel good enough to talk about. And one of those experiences may continue long after closing. Many homeowners assume the only way to lower a mortgage payment is to refinance, but sometimes there may be another option. For eligible New American Funding Service Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans, unlimited loan recasts may be available. What that means is if principal is paid down significantly, borrowers may request a recalculation of their payment schedule. potentially lowering future monthly obligations without replacing the existing mortgage. It's one more example of thinking beyond traditional solutions and helping homeowners stay flexible as life evolves. And flexibility doesn't stop there. When people think about mortgages, they usually think of standard terms, 15 years, 30 years, maybe 20. But financing doesn't always need to fit into traditional boxes. Through eligible ICANN mortgage options, New American Funding offers additional flexibility with loan terms that may range approximately from 8 to 30 years. For homeowners considering refinancing, that flexibility may help avoid feeling like they're starting over. And for buyers, it creates opportunities to align financing more closely with long-term goals. Because mortgage planning should work around your life, not the other way around. And speaking of flexibility, sometimes affordability today matters just as much as affordability tomorrow. A mortgage payment doesn't always need to begin at its full long-term payment amount. Temporary buy-down options may help create lower initial payments during the early years of homeownership. Depending on structure and eligibility, New American Funding or the seller may contribute toward reducing payments for a defined period. For example, programs like a 1-0 buy-down may reduce payments during year 1. That can create additional breathing room while adjusting to a new home, planning future finances, or navigating changing market conditions. The goal is flexibility, not simply closing loans. And sometimes the best financing strategy isn't replacing what you already have. Every borrower's situation is different. That's why creating financing options matter. Fixed second mortgage options may create opportunities for eligible homeowners and buyers. For refinances, that could mean accessing equity without changing an existing first mortgage interest rate. For purchases, strategic financing structures may create opportunities to reduce loan-to-value and potentially minimize mortgage insurance depending on eligibility. Sometimes, the smartest financing strategy isn't choosing one option. It's combining solutions thoughtfully, and having more tools available creates more possibilities. Next, let's shift from financing solutions into client experience, convenience, and some of the unique programs designed to support homeowners before, during, and after closing. Buying a home is exciting, but once you close, reality sets in. Utilities, internet, home security, scheduling, transfers. There's often a surprisingly long list of things to coordinate. That's one reason I really like New American Funding's complimentary NAF Concierge service. Rather than making clients spend hours calling multiple providers and trying to coordinate setup themselves, the goal is helping simplify the transition into the home. Because buying a house should feel exciting, not like taking on another full-time job. And to me, that's another example of supporting clients beyond the mortgage itself. And speaking of helping clients succeed, sometimes buyers need an extra competitive advantage. If you've bought a home recently, or even shopped for one, you know competition can be intense. Cash offers often attract attention because of speed and certainty. That's why programs like NAF Cash are so interesting. For eligible borrowers, this program may create a cash-like purchasing experience designed to strengthen offers and improve competitiveness in fast-moving markets. It may also create opportunities for faster closing timelines and potentially additional negotiation leverage. And depending on eligibility and program terms, borrowers may also receive a lender credit toward their financing. Programs like this exist because markets evolve, and financing should evolve too. But buying homes isn't only about financing, it's also about communication. One thing real estate professionals consistently value is visibility, knowing where things stand, knowing what's needed, knowing what happens next. That's where NAF Connect comes in. This technology platform helps keep real estate partners informed throughout the mortgage process and supports electronic communication and document access. For clients, that can mean fewer surprises and stronger coordination behind the scenes. And for agents, better communication often creates smoother transactions. Technology should reduce stress, not create it. And that's exactly the goal. And while no one can predict interest rates, having future options still matters. One question I hear all the time is, what happens if rates drop after I buy? It's a fair question. That's why New American Funding created the 5-year rate protection pledge. For eligible borrowers, if market conditions become more favorable during that time frame, the program may help reduce future refinancing costs. That may include refinancing without a lender fee and assistance toward appraisal costs, subject to program terms and eligibility. No one can predict where rates will go, but having options available later can make decisions today feel more flexible and less stressful. Because home financing isn't only about today, it's also about planning ahead. Next, we'll finish strong with programs focused on preparing buyers, connecting clients with additional resources, simplifying insurance, and bringing everything together at closing. One thing I want people to remember, not everyone begins their homeownership journey in the same place. Some people are ready today, others simply need a plan. That's why I appreciate programs like the UQual Credit Repair Partnership. The goal is helping eligible clients strengthen their credit profile, improve financial readiness, and move closer to becoming mortgage ready. Because preparation matters. Homeownership isn't always about waiting. Sometimes it's about taking the next right step. And depending on eligibility and program terms, there may also be lender incentives available after participating. The important thing is this: you don't have to figure everything out alone. And once you are ready, having the right team matters. Buying a home is rarely a one-person process. Success usually comes from having the right people supporting you. That's one of the ideas behind NAF Homes. This complimentary service helps connect eligible clients with trusted local real estate professionals to help simplify the experience. And depending on eligibility and participation, borrowers may receive lender credits toward their financing. To me, this reflects something I strongly believe. Mortgage and real estate work better together. When communication improves, clients win. And after finding the right home, there's still another important piece to solve: insurance. Homeowners insurance is essential, but comparing providers, pricing, and coverage options can sometimes feel overwhelming. Through NAF Insurance, clients have access to an insurance partner who can shop multiple homeowners insurance companies at no additional charge. That means less time researching and more confidence evaluating available options. The goal isn't simply saving money, it's helping create a smoother overall experience, because reducing complexity matters. And finally, let's talk about bringing everything together. Closing is exciting, but there's also a lot happening behind the scenes. Coordination, communication, documentation, title, escrow, timing. Empower Settlement Services, also known as ESS, is an affiliated title and escrow company designed to help support that final stage of the journey. And depending on eligibility and participation, there may also be courtesy credits and additional concierge support available. To me, this segment really captures the larger idea. The goal isn't simply helping someone close, it's helping create a smoother experience from beginning to end. Another important strength is that New American Funding is one of the few full Eagle FHA lenders in the country. What does that mean? It means the company has earned the ability to originate, underwrite, fund, and service FHA loans internally. That designation is reserved for a limited number of lenders and reflects significant experience working within FHA guidelines at scale. To me, that matters because FHA financing continues to play an important role in helping many individuals and families pursue homeownership. It reflects operational strength, consistency, and the ability to support borrowers throughout the entire lending journey. And finally, one more reason this move felt right to me is culture. New American Funding is also a company that believes taking care of clients begins with taking care of employees. From work-life balance to recognition, support, and a family-oriented culture, NAF places meaningful emphasis on investing in its people. And when people feel supported, clients often feel that too. Better communication, better energy, better service, better follow-through. To me, mortgage lending is still a relationship business. And when a company treats its team like family, that care naturally extends to the clients and communities they serve. So, there you have it. 30 reasons I'm excited about this next chapter with New American Funding, and hopefully a better understanding of why I made this move and what it may mean for current and future clients. For me, this transition isn't about changing who I am, it's about expanding what I can offer. More solutions, more resources, more flexibility, and more opportunity to support individuals, families, homeowners, and referral partners. Whether you're purchasing your first home, moving up, refinancing, building, accessing equity, or simply exploring possibilities, I'd love the opportunity to help. Thank you for taking time to watch, and thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout the years. Visit qualifywithjason.com and reach out anytime. As always, remember, your future has a home. Funded today, supported forever. And together, let's continue creating a future where homeownership is equitable for all. Thanks again. Take care.